you haven't heard recently, a photographer in Canada was shooting a wedding and they lost $6,000 worth of gear. Well, they didn't lose it. Someone came up and stole their stuff. So what the heck do you do? I mean, should you have your gear with you always? Should you, your gear is stolen. Now what? What you could do to prevent it and what you could do after your gear is stolen. If that happens, I hope not. Let's do this. First and foremost, if you're really a professional, if you really care about your stuff, you should be insured. Now, it's something essential. You should definitely get gear insurance. There's a lot of different policies you can get. There's liability and everything like that if you break something, burn something down, etc. And there's gear insurance to where you can just pay, for your gear, and you pay a certain amount, etc. So, for example, what I do is I have a liability insurance and I have gear insurance, and it's combined together. So, for example, for like $300, I'm protected up to $1 million worth of damage if anything happens, and that's under my liability for it. And I have, and within that price for my gear, I'm covered up to $20,000 worth of, whatever. So you have to get insured because it's important. If something happens, you need to be able to prove, you need to have some backing, or else you're just out for the money. So what you need to do is 100% make a spreadsheet. If you don't know how to, write it down on a piece of paper for all that matters. But it's better to do it digitally. Get a list of all your gear. Write every little thing down, because when you turn it into the insurance policy or into your agent or into the police for a report or anything like that, you're going to have to get that. So get all the serial numbers and everything like that. And the serial numbers are usually on the bottoms of your camera bodies. They're usually right at the bottom of your battery grips. Lenses, they're always on like underneath on the back by the rim or anything like that. It's really essential. Anything that has a serial, you could do your MacBook that is also got its own unique number, or whatever you have, whatever you carry with you, always have that written down, so that way you can give it to whoever you need to later on. It's really important. It's really essential, and yeah, it really helps. So my huge thing is, if you're really dead serious about this, as I said, for even my policy, as I said, I pay about $300 for a year. It's not that expensive. It's all cool and all, but what should you actually do when you have your gear with you? Your insurance agent won't be there to, trip the guy who stole your stuff. Well, that's absolutely true. But you really have to be discreet. You have to be careful. Yeah, that's easy to say, but there's actually things you can do. One of the huge things you can do is not put those damn magnets on your cars or your vans or whatever you have that say, hey, this is Eric Rossi or John Smith Photography. That's just saying, hey, look, I got a lot of gear, steal my stuff. No, don't put those on there. I understand people do it for advertising and everything like that, but no one gives a crap. No one looks at it. Do not leave your gear out in the open. Yeah, that's easy to say and everything like that, but find a safe place within the location to store your gear. If I'm at a wedding, I normally leave it up by the altar or anything like that, because if I'm always up on the side, if I need to change lenses or anything like that, or whatever I don't have with me, just in general, I always have off to the side of the altar. Once again, it's in sight, it's in mind. That's out of sight and out of mind. You don't want that, because you kind of want to be thinking about that. So keep that in mind. That's very important. So find a really safe place that you can store your stuff. Go to the managers of the place. They're pretty trustworthy. They're not going to steal your stuff. And just find out where can you stow your gear. Preventative tip could actually be, and a lot of some of the bags have these, are putting locks on them. Or just something in general to where you can clip it to some place that you can have access to, kind of like a bike. I know that sounds crazy, but what would you rather? Look a little nuts with your camera bag with a bike strap around it, or just in general anything else like that? So keep that in mind. It's really important to keep your gear near you or anything like that. Or you could recommend your assistant going to watch gear at certain times, or bringing on a third person, giving them $50, $100. Hey, just stand by my gear. Make sure it's important, because what would you rather do? Pay someone $100 for the entire day, a third assistant or anything like that who's looking to learn, or have your gear stolen and have to go through all this? Your gear's stolen. Now what? Now comes the sad time. You have to call your insurance agent, or you have to call the police. There's no or, unless you really just don't care and you just have the money or whatever. Of course, if you're shooting a wedding or anything like that, your client's going to feel guilty about it. Assure them that it's not their fault. It is what it is. And the cool thing about what happened with this one photographer, the thief was actually caught by the videographers at the wedding. So there's proof, and they could turn that in, and they could probably get the guy if needed. But Yeah, so you're going to have to file a police report. As I said, have that spreadsheet, have that gear list with you. So that way when they recover the equipment, or, if there's red flags alerted to local camera shops or everything like that, which is also key, you have the serial numbers. They know it's yours. Always keep receipts of everything you buy as well. I have a whole binder full of receipts and everything that, I bought stuff with. So when you're past that, that could take a while. You might never see your stuff again. But once again, you could be insured. There's stolencamera.com. Once again, you plug in your serial numbers, you register your stuff. You can look in there. That and Lens Tag is an awesome, cool new website coming up. Once again, not sponsored by any of these. They go in, you put your own database in, you put your serial numbers in and everything. So that way, it just helps. It's just the little things that can help. And as I said, check out your local stores. Those are your choices. File your insurance. It's really important if you're a professional. You got to develop a spreadsheet with all your serial numbers. If not, you're kind of screwed. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. As I said, if you guys have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. I'll do my best to help you out. It's really important to protect yourself because, people can be a-holes in this society. There's nothing you can do about it. You can just take preventative, measures and go from there. So as I said, let's do this. Be safe. Keep an eye out.